So the cemetery office is completely separate from any funeral services. What they do is they handle anything to do specific for a cemetery or internments. They handle any of the headstones or the markers for the gravesides. They open up gravesides, they close them during funeral services or following funeral services. They will handle anything to do with the cemetery itself. They have nothing to do with any of the funeral arrangements. So what will end up happening, if you decide that you are going to be using a cemetery, you'll end up contacting the cemetery directly, and you'll let them know the dates that you're looking at. They'll let you know the times. Keep in mind, if you do have any sort of internment that occurs on a weekend or else on a holiday, that there will be a markup fee typically associated with that. So if you are looking at something that's more budget friendly, do not book a Saturday or Sunday. Do not book a holiday. Book it sometime for a weekday. If you're looking for budget friendly, scattering is the cheapest option that you can go with. If you were looking to use a cemetery, keep in mind that there are many expenses that do go along with that. Everything from opening and closing the grave. There's going to be a legacy fund that allows them to continue to pay for services so that the cemetery is upkept. If you are having a marker, it will cost for the marker itself. It'll cost for the installation of the marker. There's typically a burial vault that will go along with the urn to keep the urn safe and to keep the gravesite from sinking into itself. There are many, many different costs associated with it. What we did for my father was that we actually ended up having a double gravesite plot for my grandparents as is. They already had a headstone. Everything was already in place. And me and my family made the decision that we wanted my father to be buried with his parents. So what ended up happening is they have already been buried there for many, many years. We ended up having him buried on top in his urn. And that allows our family to also end up having another 5 more family members buried with their parents if we decide to go that route. Instead of having to have another tombstone or gravestone installed, we ended up just having his information etched in on their stone to add to it. So that was one way that we were able to also cut costs.